The following podcast contains spoilers and words such as done and bother.
Mate, did we watch a thing this week?
Yeah, we did.
Hello everybody and welcome to We Watched a Thing. It's your boys B Dizzle and Topher, and hopefully this is working. I don't know.
I knew you were going to say your boys. I knew it. I was like, first time we've done this, Billy's going to say your boys.
You got me pegged. Here we are live on Facebook. Hopefully you can hear us. Hopefully you can see us. I guess we'll find out at some time in the future.
When our masses of views just drop off over the next 45 seconds, I'm like, all right, that didn't work.
But we're here, and what are we talking about, Toph?
We're talking about what else we've been watching, sir.
That's right.
Normally it's one movie a week, or in the case of Emma, 2 movies a week.
That's right, but we're in lockdown, like much of the rest of the world, and so you, I've noticed in particular, have been watching a lot, like a real lot.
It's what, I mean, as you know, normally in this house, all we do is watch sport.
Yeah.
Like with most of our lives. Of course, apart from our good friends at the Belarusian Football Federation, all the other sport is off. So we are just churning through movies with a smattering of West Wing in between.
I mean, so we do, for those who don't know, we do this fortnightly to monthly on our Patreon feed. Last time we did this was 2 weeks ago. You've watched at least 20 movies since then, is that right?
That's correct.
That's crazy.
We're going at a good clip.
I myself am only at 13. So how about we just start going through it then? What's your lowest?
It was your choice to have kids, so
it's true. That was my mistake. What's your lowest rated movie?
My lowest. Hey, what's that in the background, Billy?
It's one of my kids.
A child of some description. My lowest rated movie of the last couple of weeks was a little treat from Netflix. Do you remember I messaged you actually while we were watching it, and I was like, I'm watching a movie on Netflix. It's so forgettable, I can't even tell you the name of it.
Yep.
I've done my research. That film was Code 8. It's got the guy on, what's the DC TV show? Green Arrow, is that a thing?
Oh, right. Yeah, yep.
It's him, and I think his actual younger brother in real life playing not brothers. And it's this, like, think X-Men, you know, the normal people have really turned against the people with powers, yada, yada, yada. It's crap. It's crap.
So what's your score for it?
3 out of 10.
So, okay, well, I've got one lower than that. So I also watched an extremely forgettable film. It's from last year, and it stars Alec Baldwin and Selma Hayek. I'd never even heard of it. It's called Drunk Parents. But I was flicking through and I saw it there, and I'm like, last year with that kind of cast. Okay, let's check it out. It's one of the worst things I've seen this year. It's meant to be a comedy, and it's just not really funny in any way at all.
So I don't know what you want from a comedy.
I can't recommend Drunk Parents. That's a 2 out of 10.
2 out of 10?
Yeah, just
that's
don't do it.
Grim.
Yeah.
That's grim. I should say that if anyone wants to chime in during this thing with any kind of comment or question, as we're just prattling about rubbish we've watched, by all means do so. It'll probably be more interesting than us talking, let's be honest. So 2 out of 10. Okay. Have you got any 3 out of 10s?
I don't have any 3 out of 10s. From there, I jump straight to 5.
Same. No 4s for me. Do you want to hit me with a 5?
No, you go first. You hit us with some 5s.
Sure. Okay. Why don't I just disappoint you straight out the gate? And let's keep in mind, you know, 5 out of 10. I'm saying it's a movie I watched. It's an average movie. Nothing wrong with an average movie. I like movies. So 5 out of 10, fine by me. And in that was fine by me. Howl's Moving Castle?
Oh, fuck you. That's not a 5. I'm assuming we're allowed to swear on Facebook.
It was fine.
No, it's better than fine. It's a great movie. So you haven't liked... I don't think you've liked a single Ghibli movie, have you? Because I've made you watch a couple.
That's not true. I haven't given any like a 3 or a 4.
No, but the highest you've ever rated is a 6 from memory, which was Spirited Away, and I think Princess Mononoke got the same.
No, I think Princess Mononoke might have been a 6. I reckon Spirited Away and Your Name might both have been 7s.
Okay, all right.
Maybe.
Your Name isn't Ghibli, but good to know that your
Okay.
racism knows no bounds.
All the same, isn't it? Again, Howl's Moving Castle. I loved looking at it. Was completely uninvested in the characters or the story.
You know what you should watch next? If you're going to try another Ghibli, you should watch Grave of the Fireflies. I think you'll like that the most because it's the most grounded. It's their least kind of fantastic.
Yeah, no, I think they're probably all the same. It's fine.
All right. You got any other 5s?
I do have one other 5, which was just last night, actually, where we watched Bad Boys.
As in the,
which
the
is a
original
perfectly
Bad Boys?
Yeah, 1995, which is before Michael Bay's filmmaking had become like a caricature of itself. And it's fine. It's entertaining. It's fine. There's a lot about it that's really dumb, but that's okay. It knows what it is. It's fine. 5 out of 10.
It's been so long since I've seen Bad Boys. I reckon it would have been, mid to late 90s. I couldn't tell you a thing about that movie other than Will Smith and... Geez, is it Martin Lawrence? No.
It sure is.
It is?
I think I'd forgotten that Taya Leone is in it.
I do like Taya Leone an awful lot.
I was perfectly fine watching Bad Boys. 5 out of 10.
Have you checked out Bad Boys for Life yet? Are you going to continue with the rest of the series?
I think this might start a bit of a Bad Boys tear in the house. We might do 2 and then rip into For Life.
Yep. Fair call. Fair enough. You got any other 5s?
That's it.
All right. I've got 2 5s. First up, rewatch this. Haven't seen this in a long time, but watched it with Beth the other night. Cruel Intentions does not hold up. It really... Very important movie to teenage me. Oh, yes. I remember this movie very, very well. But it just doesn't hold up as it turns out. The dialogue is some of the worst dialogue I've heard in recent weeks. It's really, really atrocious. Obviously, you still have Sarah Michelle Gellar being Sarah Michelle Gellar, which is pretty amazing. But it's just not a good movie at all. Don't revisit it. Let it live in your memory because it will be much better there than it will on the screen.
Yeah. So stick with Malkovich Dangerous Liaisons if you want that story, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. I got one more 5, which again, really bad. Chucked this on last night. Again, with Beth. I blame Beth for watching bad movies lately.
Always the best thing to do. Blame Beth.
2003's Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Really not good.
Right.
Really not good.
Shock me.
Well, I was reminded of this movie by another movie, which will come up later on my list, which you can probably guess what it is. And I was like, you know what, we should check that out. And we turned it off actually after about 45 minutes. So I probably don't even have the right to discuss it on this list, but it was just not good.
I'm going to pause here and go to a couple of questions we've got.
Oh, we've got people. Oh, I can't see anything. So
yeah. Blair, if that is your real name, does watching heaps of movies make them less enjoyable? That's a reasonable question.
Yeah, I'm going to say no for me, but I probably haven't hit that point. Like last year, our friends Paul from The Countdown and Hendo from Movie Journey, they had a movie watching competition where both watched over 500 movies in the year. In fact, it was well before. I think it was around August or September when they closed it out. And I believe that they both hit that point where they were sick of movies. I'm yet to reach that point. I was doing really well this year. I'm up to about 110 movies for the year or something. I'm still loving them. How about you, Toph?
I think, so I'm not sick of them. And I think maybe the way I'm getting around that is that we break up. We're not going we don't watch Citizen Kane into Godfather, into Casablanca, into Silence of the Lambs. We just intersperse it with stuff that you can put on and walk away from and do, go and do the dishes or whatever, and it's just on, which is kind of what we would do normally with sport. There's some games you're actually invested in, and there's some it's I'll watch it because it's on, but I could actually not care less about these teams. So that's how I'm approaching it.
Yeah,
and it's working well.
Same here. And in recent, I don't know whether it's just looking for comfort. I've found myself doing a lot more rewatching lately. So usually if I chuck something on, it's something that I have a bit of nostalgia for already. So you kind of, like you say, you just put it on in the background, do other things. And yeah, I break it up with a lot of TV. I've been watching a lot more TV lately as well, which is why I've watched way less movies than you in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. The only new TV we've done was Alex Garland's series, Devs.
Yeah, right.
With Nick Offerman and co, which I enjoyed. Like, definitely enjoyed it. But by the end of it, I think I was actually like, I would have preferred Devs the movie from Alex Garland, I think. I got to the end of it and was like, I can feel a nerdy fan edit coming on.
You do pretty good fan edits, I've got to say.
I love a fan edit. Okay, another one from good friend of the show, Cassie. Have you watched Spencer Confidential with Mark Wahlberg on Netflix yet? I haven't got that desperate yet. How about you, Billy?
No, I haven't. We had discussed maybe doing it as an episode for the show. And I mean, the way things are going with very little to watch, maybe we'll hit that point. But we kind of both went, oh, I don't know if we need that in our lives right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's meant to be just hot garbage. Who knows? I might get that desperate. One other comment from some guy called Sam. Topher has no emotions. Spirited Away is brilliant. Thanks, Sam. Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Sam. I'm with you 100%. Topher is the worst. I've said this for years to everybody I know. He's just not a good bloke.
You've been strong on this for a long time.
It's true, I have.
Okay, 6 out of 10s.
Okay, yep. I've got 1. How many do you have?
6.
Whoa, okay.
Because 6 and 7s is where I'm living, kind of.
Yeah,
actually, I'm looking at this now and I've actually got a lot of 8s. But in lockdown, 6s and 7s are great because you can put them on. You know, they're above average. You enjoy them, but you can walk away.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
A lot to be said for 6 and 7s.
You hit us with 3 of your 6s, then I'll give you my 1 6, then you give us your last 3.
Okay. This is going to set some people off. Looking at you, Sam. John Wick and John Wick 2. Yep, look, I enjoy them. I'm saying above average. I enjoy them. Great to put on and watch Keanu shoot a bunch of people in the face. It's good fun.
Did you just say Keanu?
I said whatever I said.
You know it's Keanu, right?
Well, it's not double O. You said Keanu. Like,
yeah, it's with a U, not an O.
You said it like a cow. Anyway, who doesn't want to see Kanunu shoot people in the face? It's good fun. Is it great? No, but who cares?
That's how I felt too. I only saw the first one, but from after that, I just didn't feel like I needed to see any more.
Yeah, it's fun, but I didn't like the third one. I had not watched this in a really long time. The Long Kiss Goodnight.
That's a great movie. That's really
still fun.
Good.
It's not a great movie. No, it's not.
It is a great movie.
But, it's a Shane Black script. It's a lot of fun. Gina Davis on rewatch, I think, is good as like the mum at the beginning, but actually not very good as the spy.
No, Gina Davis.
How long's it been? How long's it been since you watched it?
It's been a while. It has been a while.
Because I was surprised by this. I was like, oh, this is not working for me once she goes into spy mode. She looks like the mum is a believable character. The spy looks like you're watching someone acting like a tough, hard-ass spy, and it really actually doesn't work that well. But still, fun movie. Probably the first time I ever saw Brian Cox on screen.
Yeah.
Love Brian Cox, and he's the best thing about the movie, as far as I'm concerned. Scene with Brian Cox in it, any scene with Brian Cox, fucking brilliant.
The movie is the best thing about the movie. I'm going to go out there and say this, and you're going to fight me. Shane Black's best movie.
Okay, well, that's incorrect.
No.
The final like 20 minutes, really not very good. Like the whole climactic battle is just dumb. But still, it's a fun movie.
Fair enough. What else you got in 6s?
I thought I was doing 3 and then you were doing 3.
Did you already do 3?
Yeah, the Wicks and Long Kiss Goodnight.
Okay, both Wicks.
Keep up.
All right. Well, I've only got the 1 6. And again, same as you, a lot of fun. Miss Congeniality.
Never seen it.
You've never seen
I've
it?
I've seen like most of Miss Congeniality because I worked in a cinema when it was out, and so just like walking into theaters, I've seen like a bunch of it, but like beginning to end, nope.
Look, I'm not going to say that it's like the best movie ever, but I will say this. I actually think you would like it. I think you would find it a lot of fun.
I mean, it's got Shatner.
It's got Shatner. It's got Sandy B at Sandy B's
Sandy
best.
B.
It's easily Sandy B's best movie, like without a doubt.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're saying it's better than Speed.
Yeah. Oh no, and it's also not better than The Net, which I know that you'll fight
It's
me on.
definitely better than The Net. The bits of Miss Congeniality I've seen confirm that it's better than The Net, which is junk.
I've been thinking about and working on my list of top 100 movies of all time, like my favorite 100 movies, not the best. The Net will be in there. It will probably hit like the 70s for me.
Okay, that says a lot. That's fine.
All right, you give me your last 3 sixes.
Okay, my last 3 sixes are Christopher Nolan's The Prestige.
Okay.
I enjoy it, but it's ultimately it's about 2 characters that I don't care about at all, which is a problem, I think. But I enjoy it. I had never seen Manhunter, Michael Mann's film.
Oh yeah, the first Hannibal movie
of Red Dragon. Yes, which is enjoyable. It is 80s AF.
It's really 80s. It's really like it is. It's very, very dated. It feels more dated than most 80s movies do.
Yes. The 80s of it all actually, for me, like got in the way of just watching a film. And it's pretty good. Yeah.
I think it's better than Red Dragon.
Brian Cox.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we went on a bit of a Hannibal tear and watched Red Dragon. Also a 6 for me. Yep. Like, pretty good. Better than Hannibal. Actually, where's Hannibal? I've missed Hannibal because it's definitely lower than 6.
As it should be.
As it should be. Not a good film. Not a good film. Okay, another couple of comments here for you, Billy.
Okay.
Tara tells us that the Marky Mark movie is horrible. Don't be that desperate.
I think from memory, Tara, you might have actually already messaged me that on Twitter telling us to stay away. So
I'm happy to go with that advice.
Yeah.
Friend of the podcast, Heather, says The Long Kiss Goodnight is a Christmas movie. Where do you stand on that, Billy?
I'm going to say yes.
Shane Black, it'd be weird if it wasn't at Christmas.
I mean, if you're going to allow Die Hard to be a Christmas movie, then The Long Kiss Goodnight is definitely a Christmas movie.
Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It's the Christmas movie.
I knew where that
Show some respect. All right, how many 7s have you got?
I've got 3 7s. How about yourself?
All right, why don't I do 3, you do 3, we'll come back to me.
Okay. All right.
Just last night, hadn't watched this film in a long time, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to come back to this film, I'm going to appreciate it in a new way, I'm going to absolutely love it. Turns out I just still like it. And definitely like it. Jackie Brown.
Can I tell you something? Never seen Jackie Brown.
I know, because you've seen 3 Tarantino films.
I like the
Let's
3
do the count. Reservoir Dogs.
Love Reservoir
Pulp Fiction.
Dogs. Love Pulp Fiction.
Yep. You love them so much you then didn't see another Tarantino film until 2019 when his latest came out. Pretty weird move.
Yeah, that is correct. I haven't seen any of the middle ones.
I think recently it's become kind of trendy to have Jackie Brown in your top 3 Tarantino films.
Just to be different.
Stop pretending, people. It's not as good. And what was going to live up to Pulp Fiction? That's an impossible ask.
See, so this is where we differ, because for me, I think Reservoir Dogs is his best.
Yeah, that's incorrect, and another thing that people say to try and be cool and different, because Pulp Fiction's just better.
This is something I've been saying since the 90s when I saw both of them. This isn't just me trying to be trendy.
Where's your flat cap? I thought you were putting it on.
I was going to wear my flat cap, but my wife said I was trying too hard.
Come on. People don't know you're not really a hipster. You'd have got away with it.
And I said, but Topher said I should wear it. And she said that you were trying to trip me up so I'd look stupid.
You know I am on board with you in a flat cap.
Look, I could pull off a flat cap. We know this. But
I'm here for it. Okay. Jackie Brown, I like it. Is it in Tarantino's best? It's not. Stop pretending that it is, everyone. I hadn't watched this in way too long. Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, good movie. Good movie.
Good movie. Good movie. And I think it's really, for me, the start of, holy shit, Leo's actually really good.
Yeah, because it comes out in 2003?
It's 01 or 02.
Yeah.
It comes out the same year as Gangs of New York. He's definitely better for me in Catch Me If You Can. And from there, that's like, you just look at his IMDb from Catch Me If You Can, and it's just stunning. Just a stunning run from our guy Leo.
7 is where that would land for me as well. I think it's a good movie.
It's nudging 2.5 hours, I think, and I don't think it should be.
Yeah, agreed.
There's definitely fat to be trimmed from that movie, I reckon, but it's still a really good film. And one that I hadn't seen before that came up on Netflix, Pride, about the kind of unlikely alliance between the miners' union and gay rights activists in Britain in the 80s.
Okay, who's in that?
You got McNulty in there. You got it's Bill Nye, because obviously they're making a film in Britain. There's laws against not having Bill Nye there. I think one of the teachers from Hogwarts bobs up. She's actually pretty delightful in the film. Early George McKay role.
Right. Okay.
He's really good in it, actually. It's a good film. It's worth checking out. It's from... I remember I wanted to see it when it came out and just slipped past me. It was like 2013, 2014, something like that.
Yeah. Cool.
Give me some 7s.
All right. My first 7 is The Faculty. You seen The Faculty?
I have dim recollections of The Faculty, yeah.
1998. Great sci-fi. It's so much fun. It's like...
What's the one that I get it confused with?
Disturbing Behavior. Yeah, yep. That's another great movie. That one has Katie Holmes in it. This one.
I was going to say, which one's Katie Holmes?
Yeah, that's Disturbing Behavior. This one is Josh Hartnett.
Is this Josh Hartnett? Right.
Yes. And it's this group of kids, and their school faculty has been taken over by aliens, and it is just so much fun.
What a premise!
I know, but it works so well, and it's kind of like it's like Breakfast Club meets Alien. Like, so you've got these distinct personalities in the teenagers, and it's just a lot of fun. Like, it really holds up for a 90s film. After that, last time we did this, I had watched Not Another Teen Movie, which I stand by is one of the best comedies and certainly like one of the best parodies ever made. So that kind of led me to watch Scary Movie. Also good. Not as good as Not Another Teen Movie, but definitely as far as those parody movies go, that would have been like where everything started to slip down from there. But Scary Movie is still fun.
Is it Scary Movie 1 or 2 that has the little kid from The Grudge in it? That's 2, isn't it? Or gee, it might even be 3. Who knows?
I watched the first 3 Scary Movies all back to back. They're all... I just kind of lumped them together. I forget which one's which. I know that the second one is the guy with the midgety little hand.
Scary Movies for you are me with Studio Ghibli.
Oh.
You know, something, there's a person, one moment he's a kid, one moment he's a bird, there's something going on, yeah, whatever.
All right, and my last 7, you'll get a kick out of this, is Sphere. Because, as you know, I rewatch Sphere at least once a year. And so that fell in the last couple of weeks, and I loved it just as much as I always have.
Surely you didn't rope your wife into this, because
she didn't watch this one.
She's with me and the rest of the planet in thinking Sphere is hot garbage.
And you guys are really, really wrong about that. Really
terrible film.
No.
Genuinely terrible film.
Not at all.
Okay. Upsetting that you would watch Sphere, so I'm going to upset you with a 7. And okay, 7. Pretty good score, right?
Yep.
But you know how some 7s are, okay, that's a 7. Sometimes, is it a 7 or an 8?
Yeah.
This was, is it a 6 or a 7?
Okay.
And you were going to be shocked.
It's sounding very clickbaity right now.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Not a great film.
But no, that can't be right. You were messaging me while you were watching it, and I swear you mentioned how good it was.
No, I mentioned how good Aaron Sorkin thinks it is. I think that... Here's the thing. The things that are great about Butch and Sundance are 10 out of 10 good.
Yeah.
But then there are entire chunks of the film that I actually just don't enjoy. That thing, the little detour through New York before they go to Bolivia. Is it Bolivia they go to? Can't even remember.
Oh.
There's then a bunch of that trip that initially, like everything before the big shootout at the end, is good enough for me, but I don't love the sequence with Paul Newman on a bicycle. Can just get in the bin.
No,
it's rubbish.
No.
It's rubbish and makes no sense in the context of the story. Get out. Still enjoyed it. Not a great film. You know who's with me? Both Siskel and Ebert don't rate Butch and Sundance.
I don't care. I don't care that Siskel and Ebert are with you. Like, they've been with me on many occasions. Ebert didn't like Tommy Boy, so we know that he can get things wrong. So...
Not just didn't like it. Most hated list.
Right up there with what, Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo?
I suspect so.
I know that's one that he famously gave a 0 to.
Right. I've never watched that film. I know someone who has, because they were in Amsterdam when they were filming it and like saw them filming it, and so then was like, "Oh, this is the audio guy we used to work with." And so then when it came out, he's like, "Oh, I guess I'll see it just to see like the scene that I saw being shot," and regretted that decision.
That's crazy. Butch Cassidy is brilliant.
Butch Cassidy and Sundance is pretty good, but the things that are about it that are great are truly great, like Robert Redford's face, for instance.
Yeah, and Paul
amazing.
Newman.
Yeah. Okay. This one's kind of surprising for me that it's as high as a 7, because the virtual co-lead in the film is a child.
Okay, you do hate child actors. We know this about you.
Hate them. Paper Moon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's a good movie.
Good film. Good film. And the performance from said child, fantastic.
I mean, famously Oscar-winning, youngest Oscar winner ever.
Did she win? I don't think she won.
I'm pretty sure she did, didn't she? I think she...
I'm not saying she didn't. I'm just not convinced that you're right about that.
Okay. I could be wrong. I could very well be. I am often wrong about many things.
Sphere. Either way, she's fantastic, and it's a good film. Here's a bit of fun. My last 2 sevens: 24-Hour Party People and 25th Hour.
Okay.
Both good. 25th Hour I hadn't watched in quite a while, and it probably slipped a bit in my estimation. Still a really solid film. I totally dig it, but it went from being like really, really good to, yeah, that's definitely good.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Fair enough.
And 24-Hour Party People, that's worth checking out if you haven't seen it.
I have seen that one, but it's been a while. I think I saw that one at the cinemas way back when.
That's early turn of the set, like 02-ish or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right. I've only got 1 8. And
Drew's with you. He says that she did win Best Supporting Actress for Paper Moon.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you. I've only got 1 8. And
now that Drew said it, I'm here for it. Definitely haven't.
Well, Drew knows a lot about movies. He hosts the Real Feels podcast, and I know that he's a big movie buff. He's probably watched more than we have in this lockdown for sure. I've only got 1 8, which is a classic, which I really, really want you to watch. In fact, I might make it a throwback on the show soon, just so that you have to, because I know that you won't watch it otherwise. It is 1991 City Slickers.
But no, you can't do that because I've seen City Slickers.
Yeah, but when was the last time you watched it? I feel like you don't remember it purely based on the fact you don't like it. You can't remember
I didn't say I dislike it. I just laughed at you when you said it was one of the best films of the 90s.
It is, easily. Probably even one of the best films of the last 30 years.
Okay.
Like, it is... Billy Crystal is so perfect in that movie. The cast is so perfect. But I think people forget how meaningful the film is. Like, it's not just a slapstick comedy. There's actually very little slapstick in it, really. It's mostly quite intellectual comedy, but it's this statement on like masculinity and like midlife crisis. It's really, really good and really funny.
Apparently Jack Palance was the worst on that film set.
Really? Well, he finally won his Oscar for it.
Yeah, which is a fucking joke. Come on.
It is a joke. It is. Because that was the same year as... Well, that was the year Silence of the Lambs won just about everything else.
So, actually, if it weren't for category fraud, Hopkins would have won supporting actor. Because, come on, people. Anthony Hopkins is not a lead in Silence of the Lambs. I'm not saying he shouldn't have won an Oscar. Of course he should have. But there's one lead in that film. Everyone else is supporting.
I don't know, man.
Case closed. Case closed.
It depends on how you define lead actor. Is it based purely on screen time? Is it based on,
It's based on who's a lead. It's not hard. Let's not overthink this.
All right. Well, that's my only 8. Do you have any 8s?
You only have 1 8. I got a bunch.
8. I've got mostly 9s this time.
Okay. I got 8s. Denis Villeneuve's Prisoners. Good movie.
That is a good movie. That's a very good movie, actually. I think that might have been the first Denis movie that I saw. But man,
yeah, probably for me too.
How the cast in that? Hugh Jackman.
Jackman's best work on screen, I would say.
Easily. Not even a question.
Although apparently this one coming out on HBO, he's meant to be sensational in this year. So that'll be interesting. Because that was okay, he's going to win an Emmy. But then the Oscars changed the rules and everyone was like, oh, okay. Hugh Jackman could be balls deep in the Oscar race. Anyway, Prisoners, good movie. Here's a movie that I don't watch much and then I'm pleasantly surprised when I do because I think of it as being overrated, and I do think it's overrated. But then I watch it and I'm like, it's not as overrated as I think it is, and that's Saving Private Ryan, which is a really good film.
Good film. I feel like an 8 is where it belongs as well.
Yeah, people think it's is it better than Shakespeare in Love? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it can't be because Shakespeare in Love got the Oscar. So,
you're right.
So we know that Shakespeare in Love is better.
Yeah. Anyway, good film, Saving Private Ryan. Okay. Here's the thing that I was talking about with Jackie Brown being the trendy Tarantino choice now.
Yep.
Do people who say that The Two Towers is the best Lord of the Rings film mean it? Or are they just trying to be a bit edgy? Because it's not the best.
No, for me, you might think that I'm wrong too, because for me, Fellowship is the best.
Clearly.
Oh, so you agree? Oh, cool. I thought most people thought it was Return of the King, but for me, it's so clearly Fellowship.
Yeah, look, Two Towers, really good film. Helm's Deep is maybe my favourite battle sequence in a film ever. It is fucking sensational. But there's no getting around that half of that story is Sam and Frodo, and Sean Astin is fucking terrible. He's not my Sam. If I could fan edit him out, I'd put in just an animated Sam in place of Sean Astin, because if you're a fan of the books, you love Sam. He's arguably the hero of the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Sean Astin is terrible. He's terrible.
So I'm assuming... that you didn't just rewatch Two Towers. I'm guessing that you watched all 3 Lord of the Rings.
There could be more to come here.
Okay, all right.
We do this fairly regularly. One of us, actually normally not even me, says we should do a Lord of the Rings run.
Yeah, okay.
And it's unlikely I'm going to put up much resistance to that idea. All right, my next 8 is David Michôd's Animal Kingdom, the film that would then spawn the TV series, which I haven't seen, but I understand it's good. What I can say for certain is that the film is very good.
Very good. One of the best Australian movies.
It's right up there for best Australian film of the 21st century for me.
It would be in my top 10 Aussie movies of all time, I would say.
Really good film. Probably, I'm trying to think now, maybe my introduction to his name's just gone me. He now just always plays a slimy bad guy.
Yeah.
In things like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yes.
Probably my introduction to Mendelsohn. And I was like, Jesus, who is this guy? He's fucking great. And ever since, in the 15 years or whatever since that film, it's not that old. 08 maybe?
Yeah.
Anyway, very good film. Our man Guy Pearce. I've been on a fucking Guy Pearce tear, and I've loved it.
Same. I love Guy. I mean, we've spoken about Guy Pearce just about every episode for the last.
We might have to rename the show. We watched Guy Pearce.
We should.
Okay, more 8s. I hadn't watched this in a very long time. This was maybe the good thing about watching Butch and Sundance was that it put me in a bit of a Robert Redford space. So I watched Quiz Show, his film from 94.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, it is
94, 95, because it was in that same batch with, if I'm not mistaken, the same batch with Forrest Gump, Shawshank, Pulp Fiction. So it shouldn't have won Best Picture, because obviously Pulp Fiction should have, but it was worthy of the nomination. It's a good film.
It is a good movie. It's been a long time since I've seen that as well, but yeah, good movie.
Mad Max 2, bit of Road Warrior.
Okay.
So good. So good. Is there a better character name in film history than the Feral Kid? Come at me.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. No.
Who would win in a fight? The Predator or the Feral Kid?
Feral Kid.
Feral Kid. Fucking metal boomerang. Bang. And just last night, staying with Guy Pearce, The Proposition. It's a really good film.
Never seen The Proposition.
It's amazing that 3 years later, when John Hillcoat made The Road, by comparison, The Road was like lighthearted, because The Proposition is fucking grim and really good. Really good film, The Proposition.
What's it about?
And Guy Pearce looks terrible in it.
I don't think that's possible. It's
amazing.
What's it about?
It's a Western, effectively, set in generic outback, where at the beginning of the film, Guy Pearce's character is captured along with his younger brother, and the copper, played by a guy that I love, whose name has just gone straight out of my head, tells him that he'll set him free and spare his brother's life if he goes and kills his older brother, played by Danny Houston.
Yeah, right.
Good
I should
film.
Check it out. You got any more?
Drew says that Two Towers is his favourite, so you're in our good graces for confirming the Oscar thing, and now get out.
People are allowed to like what they like, Toph. We've spoken about this.
It's fun. Okay, here's the thing, because you're absolutely right, Billy. If Two Towers is actually your favourite, more power to you. If you can get past the Sean Astin of it, good for you. If you're just saying it because you want to seem edgy, which I really doubt Drew is doing, really doubt that's the case, then you're a flog. Drew, you're fine.
All right, do you have any more 8s?
That's my 8s.
All right, because 9 City here, I apparently mostly watch 9s this week. I've got 4 9s. Do you have any 9s?
I've got 4 9s.
Wow.
It's like poker, except you never get 4 of a kind because it's really hard to do.
Okay, what if...
I've had 1 ever.
What if I do 2, then...
And like everyone just folded, and it was like, for fuck's sake.
What if I do 2, then you do 2, then I do 2, then you do 2?
Done.
All right, cool. I'll kick us off. This one, a patron of the show, Caleb, wrote in saying that if we hadn't seen this, we should watch it. I think we'd both seen it, but I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm going to rewatch it anyway. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You've seen that, yeah?
Yeah, sort of the movies.
Yeah, I thought you did. Really, really good movie. Really, really good movie. I think probably the best Spider-Man movie, and probably one of my favorite Marvel movies. I'm not big on the Marvel movies. Into the Spider-Verse is a lot of fun. Nick Cage as noir Spider-Man is perfect. Yeah, I think it's really, really good. 9. And the animation is beautiful. Like, if you're an animation geek like me, it's so pretty to look at. Yeah, really good. Then, this is, I think, one of the best comedies ever made. I made Beth watch this. Election. You seen Election?
Yeah, not for ages, but yeah.
It holds up so well. Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon are so good. For me, it's Reese Witherspoon's best film role. I think she's great in Big Little Lies, but I don't think she's ever been better on screen than she has in Election. It is one of the most laugh-out-loud funny movies I've ever seen. It's so good. And Chris Klein. People forget how funny Chris Klein was at that time, but man, he's good in that movie.
I was going to say, isn't the jock from American Pie there? I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah. He's really good in it. All right, you hit us with a couple of 9s.
Okay. A film with this many problems should be impossible for a film with this many problems to get a 9. But And so clearly some of it is emotional attachment, not to mention that a lot of it is just really, really good. And that is Return of the King.
Okay.
Like, pick an ending, maybe. But very good film. Less, too much Sean Astin. I think we could safely say. But, my guy, Vigo, amazing.
You do love Vigo. You really, really do.
I do love Vigo. I love some Vigo. Crimson Tide, yo.
We do know that Green Book is your favourite movie of the last 5 years.
Is that a fact? I think I remember giving that a 5 out of 10.
But you gave Vigo a 10.
No, not Vigo's best work. Not Vigo. Okay, here's the thing. Like, again, for fans of the book, Vigo is so good. When you then go back to the book after the films, and you're reading about Aragorn, it is just Vigo.
Yep, definitely.
And like Dom Monaghan and Billy Boyd, for me, they just are Merry and Pippin.
Yep.
Sean Astin is not Sam.
Hashtag not my Sam.
Not my Sam.
Where are you on Frodo?
I've cooled a bit on Elijah Wood over the years as Frodo. I don't think he's bad by any stretch, but not the strongest element of the cast. Which, okay, you're up against Sir Ian McKellen. That's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just kind of okay with Elijah Wood in the film.
Ian McKellen is definitely Gandalf, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
Like, there's no other... Yeah. You couldn't recast that role.
You know who they wanted?
Who?
Connery.
Well, now I'm picturing that, and
and no.
You shall not pass. Yeah, probably not. All right.
I'm still going, aren't I? I'm just looking at comments of how good Vigo is. Carlito, I haven't seen Carlito's Way in a very long time, but apparently he's very good in that. I have another comment here saying Topher's lighting is really nice.
Oh.
Thanks, Ash. Thanks, Ash. I was like, if I'm going on camera as the lighting and camera guy, I kind of need to look better than Billy. Which is hard to do with Billy, because you're a very handsome man.
Thank you. But yeah, obviously, I'm struggling with the sun behind me here. But
very harsh backlight there, Billy.
I mean, it was just... It's a matter of circumstances. You have the whole house to yourself. I have kids that are running around.
Not really. I just kind of rudely said, hey, I'm going to have a bunch of gear here.
Whereas I had to set up in my new little study nook here, which is just a big glass panel, which it's really nice working here. But yeah, lighting ain't great.
Anyway, I've only said 1-9, haven't I? Okay. Probably the second best comedy ever made. This is Spinal Tap.
Yep. I knew you were on a binge lately trying to find the best comedy.
Well, not really, because I already knew. Yeah. But we'll come to that.
Oh, man. The Stonehenge scene will forever be one of the funniest things ever.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I actually need to rewatch that. That's been a really long time, but I agree with you that would definitely be up there with the best comedies ever made.
Sensational. Hannibal binge, Silence of the Lambs. Okay, here's something that happened about 2 meters that way last weekend. Someone says, I don't know if I've sat through all of Silence of the Lambs.
Are you kidding?
What?
Wait.
What?
I need to message Heather after this. That's crazy.
Unbelievable. So, obviously, we watched Silence of the Lambs. And spoiler alert, good film, that.
Yeah, really, really, really good. Really, really... Again, working on my list of 100 favourite movies at the moment, and that is top 20 for me, easily. I think it's so strong. Really good. Did Heather like it?
Yeah. Probably.
So when she... when she said she'd never sat through it, that means that she had seen How is
I reckon she thought that she had seen every minute of that film, but never starting at the beginning and watching to the end.
How does that happen to a person?
I don't know.
With that movie, I don't understand. Like, it's not the kind of movie that you just kind of see bits and pieces of, is it?
Go figure.
Wow. Strange. Great movie. Great movie.
All right, my last 9 started out as an 8 and then changed. So last week or the week before, I watched David Lean's Brief Encounter, which I hadn't seen before. But I knew that it was a big film for a lot of movie snobs, so I was like, I should probably get on this. And I was totally into it, really enjoyed it, gave it an 8 out of 10. And then 2 days later, it was just still with me in a very big way. And I changed it to a 9 because that film just got a hold of me and got its hooks in. Does not happen very regularly.
How often has that happened for you? The last time I can think that happened for me was Mother, Darren Aronofsky's, which I think I gave an 8 at the time, and then I was still thinking about days later, so upped it. Which I know a lot of people hate that movie, but whatever. I like it a lot. Yeah, that doesn't happen often. All right, I've got 2 more 9s. After watching Election, got on a bit of a Tom Perrotta thing because I think he's just awesome, and rewatched Little Children.
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
I first saw that as a recommendation from you.
Did you? Did you see it in the cinemas? Or was this
I did
later?
not.
No.
I did not. I borrowed your DVD, as I recall.
Yeah. Oh, great movie. Patrick Wilson, Kate Winslet, and Jamie Earl... what's his name? Haley?
Jackie Earl Haley.
Jackie Earl Haley.
He is an incredible actor.
Oh, in that movie, he is just a force. That is such a good movie. And that's another one where I really love the book. And so, but actually, that's one of the few ones where I read the book after I saw the movie. Just loved the movie so much, went and read the book. And they're both brilliant. But man, if you haven't seen Little Children, get on it. It's such a great movie.
Can you tell the story?
Can I tell the story?
Of when you saw the film in cinemas with your wife?
Was it
the film or was it the trailer for the film?
It was the trailer. So my wife and I were both working at a cinema at the time. And I don't remember if she was with me. Yeah, maybe we were watching something. The trailer came on. It was a really quiet cinema. I can't remember what movie we were seeing. But the trailer came on. And at the end, someone in the front row just yells out, "Art house." So it's become a bit of a thing we do whenever we see a trailer for a movie that looks a bit out there. We just yell out "Art house."
Some high-minded action from someone.
So I can't remember what movie we were seeing at the time, but it must have been something fairly mainstream to get that reaction.
Sensational.
One more 9 from me, again, going through my list of 100 favourite movies, and I was like, you know what? This just deserves a rewatch because it's brilliant. Princess Bride. Still holds up. You were talking about Butch Cassidy earlier. I think that's another great movie, but this is clearly Bill Goldman's best work. It is
Bill. That's your relationship to Goldman.
Yes, me and Goldman. We're like this, yo. So Princess Bride, I think, is just so. It's got everything you want.
Try and have more fun watching a movie.
Well, and you see.
I don't think it can be done.
You see those flow charts of what should I watch tonight? And there's that meme one of the Princess Bride. It's like, do you feel like an adventure? Princess Bride. A comedy? Princess Bride. Romance? Princess Bride. Action? It's got absolutely everything, and it nails every component. It is so funny. It's so much fun. You feel the adventure and the romance. It's you almost can't get a more perfect movie than The Princess Bride.
You're basically a trailer for it.
Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know why it's only a 9. I really should be upping that to a 10.
Ash is asking us if we've read The Princess Bride.
I just see that.
I have. Have you?
I have. I've got the full. And
it's great.
I love the way that it's written as if it's like a real book. I know that sounds like a joke, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, the book. If you haven't read the book of The Princess Bride, it's as much fun as the film.
It is.
It's amazing.
All right. My wife is giving me the wrap it up signal. I'm guessing my kids are getting rowdy.
You got some parenting to do you?
You got any 10s, mate?
I got 2 10s.
Let's hear them.
Okay. Yes, the best of the trilogy is Fellowship of the Ring.
Yep.
It's fucking incredible. It's just an incredible movie. It has an unfair advantage over the other two in that it just like individually has the best beginning, middle, and end. It just works the best as one contained work. And I remember the day, Boxing Day, when it came out here. Normally, Boxing Day for me is absolutely reserved for watching cricket, but knowing this film was coming out, do you remember the trailer? Like, it was just this.
It was a big deal.
Like, it was a big deal. So me and one of my best friends went and ditched our usual Boxing Day thing of drinking beer and watching cricket, and went and watched Fellowship of the Ring, and were astounded, like genuinely blown away by what we saw. That film is amazing.
It is. All right, what's your last 10, mate?
The greatest comedy of all time.
Yep.
And it's absolutely no contest. Stanley Kubrick's Doctor Strangelove. It had been a pretty long time since I watched it, actually, and if I didn't think it was possible, it went up in my estimation.
Yeah,
that film is just operating on a level that probably only one filmmaker ever could have done.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. It's been ages. I've only got 110. I'm going to do it quickly because my wife has given me the eye. You knew this was coming. Dating the Enemy. Guy Pearce, actually smouldering bears. I know that all of that is nostalgia. I was watching the movie last night. I'm like, deep down, I know that this is all just nostalgia points, but I can't separate it from that. So it's a 10. Because
occasional co-host Beth watched it with you last night.
She did.
And I heard from her. She was like, it's ripe for a remake because it's dated as hell.
I don't think it's dated. I think she's wrong.
But still, she said it was an absolute joy, but dated as hell.
All right, I've got to go. But this was pleasure doing this with you. I loved this. We'll maybe do it again sometime. And
happy isolation.
You too, bud.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We hope you all had fun, and we'll maybe do this again sometime.